Apologies for that, the recording somewhat stopped, but we will still continue. Now right here on this diagram, yes, there was that dichotomy where less groundwater causes the sea level to rise, but that's because the sea seeps into the groundwater, so it could all be equal in a steady state, inflow to outflow. But it is not, because we have less groundwater due to global warming, which creates a higher sea level. And going back, that shows the massive flooding that happens. And now the USGS paper. The USGS paper shows that basically that the USGS is very aware of the events that are currently happening and all of the challenges that they will currently have to face to combat climate change, and that they will be working on the federal, the state, and the local level in order to meet the needs of the changing world. So in order to see how they could be maybe flooding in the smallest town, to seeing how they could get the agriculture up and running for the entire country. And the variability that they will also need to face are weather patterns, just like, El Nino and La Nina and PDO and AMO. All these different weather systems that periodically come in and change our climate. Here we have all the aquifers in America, mainly the principal ones. As said, we have many different aquifers of different size. We have them in Hawaii, Alaska, Puerto Rico of all places. But the main two that are very big and that take in the most water are the California Central Valley Aquifer and the High Plains Aquifer. All of these places. And it seems that the most pumped states are actually Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and California, and Texas and Wyoming. And basically, those are the aquifers that need the most water so they could recharge and get it. But because many of these places are in drought, we don't get that amount of recharge anymore, which we desperately need. Conclusions. The conclusion for the Taylor paper is that climate change is directly affecting the amount of groundwater in the earth. The sea level is rising due to this, as shown before in the diagram, which is being evapotranspirated due to global warming, which may mean increased flooding. And with that increased flooding, that means the ice caps begin to melt, which will cause the sea level to also rise, creating a positive feedback loop that is not so positive to us or the polar bear. Remember, we do not want to end up like the polar bear. And the conclusion for the USGS paper is that while climate change is affecting the planet and more specifically our country, that their organization is very well equipped to handle the changes in this new world. And they will be working with many different areas in order to stop this from happening. Right here is a graph of the climate variability, where you could see the different phases and oscillations of events, such as El Nino and La Nina. El Nino recently passed about last year around this same time, when California was getting massive amounts of rain. A more personal experience would be that UCR, in order to be safe and secure, canceled their music festival Heat due to El Nino maybe raining out the area, which also caused a lot of the controversy and a lot of these infighting in the ASUCR. So global warming, while it may not affect you exactly personally in that, it finds ways to creep into your life and change the way you live. Maybe you'll be taking shorter showers. Maybe your favorite place will get rained out. Maybe one day it'll be raining and the road you usually drive on is flooded and you'll need to find a detour. And that is how climate change changes everything. And now a discussion. Groundwater is very important to our daily lives. We use it for food, we use it as a water supply, and we use it to bathe ourselves, drink. Groundwater is very important to us, and climate change is directly affecting that. And if we don't change, then the groundwater is going to start getting less and less, which will mean there will be less food and less water. And we will need to adapt in order to do that. The food supply is lowering and the sea level is rising. What are some alternatives? Well, you could take shorter showers, use a broom to wipe your driveway instead of a hose, grow your own plants too, grow your own food. Because climate change is affecting us, whether we want it to or not. But I believe that as a species, we can go up because that is what we as humans do. We always beat our natural surroundings. These are my references. Thank you very much.